For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Patrick Stanton Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head cross-country coach Patrick Stanton. And Patrick, you guys have a great opening week a couple weeks ago at the Bethany Invitational. Several guys getting close to their PR, several women as well. Talk about that opening event and kind of what it was like for you guys.
Yeah, I was really happy with it. Like you said, a lot of guys and girls were either around their PR or actually did PR. Bethany's really not a true like PR course. It's not like the hardest course we'll see all year. That is, of course, going to be Ogilby. But I really consider it to be kind of like an Ogilby light. It's got a couple of pretty decent hills in it, and it rolls pretty consistently throughout the course. So it's really not a fast course at all. So for our guys to go out there and run as fast as they did, it was an awesome start to the season. And I really compare it to our season opener from last year at Kutztown. It's a pretty comparable course just in terms of like the speed of it. And vast majority of our team ran a lot faster than they did at Kutztown last year to open up. And some ran right around what they opened up with last year and saw improvements in a lot of other areas. So there's a lot of good to take away from it for everybody. But, you know, Hunter, Tomich in particular, dropped over a minute PR or right around a minute PR from last year, which is just crazy to do on that Bethany course. It just shows how much fitter he is. And Isaiah was pretty close to his PR, ran a lot better than he did in the season opener last year. Tyler Crook, I mean, we talked about him last time. He's night and day. Like he went from being a beginner who was just trying it out to a real runner. So I mean, he PR'd by like 16 minutes, like something insane. So it was a really good opener. We were happy with it. It wasn't perfect. We still have a lot we can work on, but it was a great first one.
And we talked with Isaiah and Sydney over this past week about seeing so many conference opponents right at the start. How big was that for both teams, just to see the conference, see what they're going to go up against this year?
Yeah, I think both of them said it great. It's good to be able to see the conference teams throughout the season. So, like, it's not totally unfamiliar when we get to the conference championship and regional championship. We know how people race. We have just a good idea, and it just kind of ups that ante a little bit. You know, obviously the MEC championship is a big, like, emotional peak for the season for both cross country and for track, indoor and outdoor. We see these people a lot. And the more we get to see them, the more we get to kind of build some of those rivalries and just really kind of see what we're up against. So I thought they said it well. And then for Isaiah to come out and be the top MEC finisher, Sydney to be the second MEC finisher behind Leah Hall from Wesleyan, who's in really good shape. I thought it was a great opener, and it kind of set the tone for them to show that they're looking to make some noise on the MEC level this year.
And you mentioned a couple guys on the men's side, Hunter Tomich, who you mentioned earlier, Isaiah Browning, both huge days for them. Having those two in good shape and showing these results early, how big is that for their confidence?
Oh, it's huge. It is huge. Our fitness is off the charts compared to this time last year. Our top two guys are looking really smooth. I think we talked about it a little bit last time. It's also just their maturity. They've just gotten a lot more experience. They've grown a lot as individuals. They're able to battle through some of the mental challenges of racing a cross-country race a lot better than they did last year. They're a lot more confident. So, like, in terms of our fitness, it's been night and day from last year, and just in terms of, like, the team vibe at this point. Like, everyone's just feeling a lot more confident, and we're a little bit banged up injury-wise, but we know we're really fit, and we're coming out on the other side of, like, having to deal with some of those injuries. So people are feeling good.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head cross-country coach Patrick Stanton. And Patrick, on the women's side now, Sydney Hamble, a great start for her. Also a couple other girls, Sophia Tamana had a great race. Talk about them as a whole and kind of what you saw from them.
Yeah, I thought they did well. Sydney's been a little bit limited by some issues with her hip. It hasn't really taken her out of anything, but it really just kind of like limits her speed. You can tell it affects her stride when she's starting off races or when she's starting off reps and workouts. It hasn't really taken her off for any significant amount of time. And you can tell, like, when we're doing longer stuff, we're doing, like, longer tempos and things like that, like, she's really fit and has taken a big step up from last year. But it affects her speed. So I think we saw that a little bit at the season opener at Bethany, just kind of like in the way that she got started and maybe kind of holding her back, like, mentally as well, like not being able to kind of get that full extension in her stride. We're just kind of worried about it in the back of her mind. But still, she opened up about 20 seconds faster than she did last year. So that just goes to show how fit she is and how ready she is to compete. We're starting to get the hip thing figured out and come out on the other side of it. So we're hoping to just continue to see her times drop and really be able to show the true extent of her fitness. Sophia had a solid opener. I think time-wise it wasn't anything crazy or anything like that. It was about the same as what she opened up last year. But she just looked a lot more smooth and in control, which that's always been the thing with Sophia from last year with some of her medical issues. It can be like we don't know what we're going to get on race day. I'll say since that race, she has had her best stretch of training since like the beginning of her freshman year. She has been on a roll, like consistently crushing workouts. Like I think took the confidence of seeing how smooth and in control she looked at that meet and realized that like, okay, now I'm good. Now I can run a lot faster. And she's really kind of like made that next step up, and she's been running phenomenal. Gabby's been strong too. At that race at Bethany, she was coming off being sick all week. So it wasn't her best day, but she ran a tough race. And like now that she's been getting healthy and she's been getting in the pool more with swimming as well. So we're finding that balance between cross country and swim season a lot better than we did last year. She's a lot fitter than she was last year, and they're all three ready to show it.
And you guys heading to Lock Haven this week, the same course that you'll run later in the year of the regional championship. Seeing this course once and getting to run it, how's that going to help you as you guys go through your training cycles?
Yeah, it's definitely a big help. And really the focus at Lock Haven is just to run fast. Like it is a fast course. I mentioned Bethany's not a PR course. Lock Haven's for sure a PR course. And that's not to say like a PR is guaranteed. It's not a gimme. They got to go out and run their race and run hard. But it should be, if they run their race and they give it their best effort, they should come out with some really nice PRs and like those shiny new PRs for their T-First page. The game plan is really just to get out fast and see where that takes us. It's a kind of course that, since it is so flat and fast, that if you do get out a little bit faster, it's not going to come back to bite you as hard as it will as like a Bethany or an Ogleby. So we want to get out fast and aggressive and like put ourselves in some good packs. So when those packs start to slow down, we're still in like the higher level packs. So that's really the game plan. As much as we want to do that this weekend, we've really got to do that at regionals. So we want to answer your question a little bit more directly. We want to get ready for that at this meet. We want to make sure like it's really big competition. We're going to see a lot of conference and regional opponents there. We're going to see some D1 teams there, some teams from like the GMAC and all these schools, a lot of nationally ranked opponents. So we just want to make sure we get out in good position and run fast from the gun.
And finally, you talk about these girls and guys coming in way fitter than they were last year, setting big marks. How do they keep that going throughout the season as you go into this week and then your races leading up to the conference championship?
We got to stay healthy. We got to stay healthy, and we got to stay consistent. At this point, we just got to listen to our bodies. We're really fit. We've only got about a month or so out from the MEC championship. I really think we just got to take care of ourselves. If things are starting to act up, like not try to play hero ball and like run through everything. Listen to our bodies and just make sure we're feeling good by the time those championships roll around. The fitness is there. We can't relax on it. We can't just like chill for the next month. But we can prioritize like listening to our bodies a little bit more. So I think we just got to do that and stay consistent as possible.
Thanks, Patrick. Good luck at Lock Haven this week. Can't wait to see you out there.
Cool. Thanks, Zach.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.